Good morning and welcome to today's International Space Station update. Crew has been very busy today with two of our Russian cosmonauts celebrating their birthdays today on board the station, starting off with Commander Kononenko, who was joined by his fellow Russian cosmonauts Pettitt and Revin in a Russian public affairs event a little bit earlier today. And then other than that, he'll be doing a series of electrical power system tests throughout the Russian service module, or the Zvezda module. And that'll pretty much take up most of his time today, a pretty routine task, just to make sure all those systems are performing as they should. Moving on, veteran astronaut Gennady Pettitt has been working on a few more of the experiments on board the station, working with the Sonacard system, which is a contactless acquisition device which looks to collect physiological data such as just basic heart readings and other bodily readings from the astronauts while they're sleeping. He'll also be working with the typologia experiment, which looks to study how these astronauts adapt in that transition to the weightless environment of space, and then the effects that it may have on their basic control and decision functions. Our third Russian cosmonaut, Sergei Revin, has also been doing some cardiac studies this morning, taking some readings, which it was scheduled for 30 days, or I think it was believed 2 days between a private medical conference with crews on the ground. So another one of those studies looking at the astronauts' cardiac function as they're exposed to this microgravity environment for long periods of time. He'll also be working with the Russian relaxation experiment, which looks to determine the effects that propulsion system exhausts have on the Earth's upper atmosphere, but also any of the optically sensitive surfaces on board the station, such as windows, equipment lenses, and the solar array panels. And meanwhile, NASA astronaut Joe Acaba removed a few insulation blankets from the antimicrobial applicator earlier today, allowing the temperatures to equalize and come up to a kind of a room temperature on board the station. He'll also be working in the Japanese experiment module today, doing some work with the thermal control system's fluid servicer system. He'll also be assisting Don Pettitt a little bit later today with the integrated cardiovascular experiment, as Don Pettitt takes a number of ultrasounds of his own body. Meanwhile, European Space Agency astronaut Andrei Kuipers is continuing some of the work he was doing yesterday with the fluid physics experiment facility inside of the Japanese experiment module. He's working to set up the Maragoni inside module inside of this thing. The Maragoni experiment looks to study thermocapillary convection, which is also called Maragoni convection, in the microgravity environment. He'll also be conducting a photo survey of the Columbus module, which is the European Space Agency's main experiment module on board the station. Then our final Expedition 31 crewmate, Don Pettitt, was also going to be working in that Japanese experiment module, changing out some of the batteries and the portable computer systems on board. He'll also be stowing a few items from yesterday's amine swing bed operations that he was working on throughout most of his day. And then later on today, he'll be working with that ultrasound system, getting some scans for the integrated cardiovascular research and also for the vessel imaging research.